Did you know that 30% of Shopify stores leave money on the table by not having a simple post-purchase upsell funnel that takes literally 20 minutes to set up? This single funnel made over $100,000 last year, and I'm going to show you how to build it today. Now, I want to start by saying thank you for your patience. I have not created a video really through Q4 at all. Things get super crazy with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of the holidays, but I am looking forward to getting back into the cadence. Now, if you're not familiar with me, my name is Dominic Mayu. I run a Shopify agency called DM Corporations where we help Shopify-based e-commerce stores scale to millions of dollars of profitable revenue. And this upsell funnel is a key piece of that, increasing both AOV and profitability. So I don't want this video to just run on forever, so I'm going to just get right into it. Now, let's start with a few examples just to show you some screenshots. You'll see I use one-click upsell for most of my brands. We use Rebuy a little bit, but I grabbed some OCU screenshots here. Now, these are all from individual stores last year. So you can see this one is sitting at 49,000. This one's at 30,000, 14, and 9. So this works for stores of all levels, whether you're doing 5 or 10 grand a month, or you're doing 5 or 10 million a month. Obviously, this post-purchase funnel is just going to scale with you. So a couple more examples just of the actual funnel screenshots. You can see how much revenue that these are adding per visit, right? So if you look at this side, this means that everybody that purchases and sees this funnel, these are adding an additional $8, $14, $2.40, $2.40. This one's a bit of a smaller scale, but still $1.30, $1.20, $1.35, $1.23. Now, this is just additional revenue on top of the original purchase. So this is extremely, extremely powerful. Now, what's the problem here? See, most Shopify store owners focus solely on getting new customers, but ignore how to maximize the revenue of each customer. See, acquiring customers is expensive. We all know that. Unless you're a unicorn brand that somehow gets a ton of organic traffic every month, if you're paying for your traffic, paying for your conversions, you know that gets expensive. But increasing the average order value of your customers, that's where the real profit lies. So that's what the post-purchase upsells solve for you guys, okay? It's maximizing every single purchase that comes through to increase that profitability, which will then allow you to actually spend more to acquire more customers in the end and put more money into your pocket. So why do post-purchase upsells work, right? Why should we add these? Now, the first piece is commitment, right? Customers who already make a purchase with you already trust you. They've been through your whole funnel. They've been through your website. They trust you. They want your product. So they are more committed than standard customers who haven't, who haven't purchased from you yet. Now, two is they are complementary offers, right? Now, upsell offers should be related to the original purchase. We'll get into this in a little bit. I'll give you some examples. And that will just significantly increase the overall take rates. And then the third is studies actually show that these types of upsells can increase revenue by 10 to 30% overnight. Guys, these literally take less than 20, 30 minutes to set up. They're extremely affordable. They're very easy, and they can just immediately increase your bottom line revenue. So, how do we set up a post-purchase upsell? Ignore this AI-generated image on Gamma. I forgot to replace that, obviously. But here's a quick step-by-step funnel to setting up a post-purchase upsell funnel. So super easy. First things first is choose your upsell product. Like I said, we're gonna get into some examples here in a little bit, but this is the first piece. Now, you want to make sure that this is complementary to your original purchase. That's the most important piece, okay? If you're selling yoga pants, right? And then you upsell AA batteries, like that. There's no connection there, right? There's zero connection there. But maybe some nice yoga socks or a yoga mat, right? That would be more relevant. I don't know why I picked yoga. I don't know much about yoga, but maybe a yoga mat would be a lot more applicable to this offer. Now, next, you want to create a compelling offer. You don't want to just sell these at full price. If you do actually want to sell them at full price, just make sure you put your compare at price higher so it looks like it's a good deal. But you really do want to offer a good discount here, right? You want to reward your customers for coming through. Obviously, you still want to be profitable to bump that revenue up, but create a nice offer, reward your customers, treat them well. Then you'll want to set up some funnel logic, which I'll walk you through how we do it. And then you're going to just test and optimize for continuous improvements. Okay, so like I said, here's some examples of some winning funnels. Again, this is just an AI generated image. Ignore all these. This is the first YouTube video I've made in a few months, so it's a little sloppy. But here's a couple examples. So skincare, right? Offering a travel size version or complimentary serum resulted in a 20% take rate. So this was directly from one of my clients. We actually offer just a travel size version. It's a very premium skincare product in the $200 AOV range, so very premium. So what we actually did is created a smaller travel size version, offered that as an upsell, and that got a 20% take rate, which was absolutely phenomenal. Okay. Then a fitness example. So we work with a company who sells resistance bands. So upselling a premium resistance band, basically just more resistance bands at a discounted offer, added $30,000 in additional revenue in just 3 months, right? So they purchased resistance bands at full price. We went through the funnel. We offered them at a huge discount, I think 30 or 40% off, and that got a phenomenal take rate and saw over $30,000 in just a few months. So the key thing here, guys, again, is just to keep it as relevant as possible. So another example that I didn't add in here, but that works incredibly well is for G-Tech Apparel. They sell heated hand pouches, basically. Like, you see the NFL players wear those little hand pouches around their waist, typically like quarterbacks. They sell a product that actually is a heated one of those. It's a phenomenal product. But it requires a battery. Now, obviously, all purchases come with a battery, but the upsell funnel that we're really pushing on those guys is an additional battery, right? To extend that battery life. If you're going on a long hunting trip, if you're going to long football games, you're going to be outside all day, you're going to need numerous batteries to keep that thing heated all day. So that is a great example of a complementary product, okay? If you don't have any complementary products, something that does work well is something like this, right? Just selling the same thing at a discounted price, right? So if you sell water bottles, for example, your water bottles are $40. They're a good water bottle. What you can do is once they purchase that water bottle, send them through the funnel and upsell more water bottles, maybe the same color, different colors. You can give them variant options at 20% off, 30% off, 40% off, $10 off, whatever, works for you and your brand. But that funnel does tend to actually work really, really well. And that's just upselling the same thing that they bought. So if you don't have a super complementary product, then just upsell the same product. Now, something else that can work well, and I'm just going to throw this out there for those of you who maybe not have complementary products and upselling the same thing doesn't make sense. For example, I worked with a very high-end office chair a few years ago. It was about $1,000 for this office chair, so very high-end. So we didn't have any other complementary products. We just had that single product to sell to our customers. And upselling another office chair maybe could have worked, throw 20% off. So it's now $800, but then that $1,000 purchase turns into $1,800. And not many people need 2 office chairs, right? So in that case, what we actually built was a digital product. Okay. Now this office chair was designed for people with back problems. Basically, it was invented by a chiropractor. So what they did is actually upsold a community where I think there was 1 call a month. It also came with a few free resources that ran, I believe we upsold that for like $30, nothing crazy. But that got a really, 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 really high take rate. I think we saw about a 20% take rate on a digital product, which is 100% profit. Okay. So if you don't have, a complementary product or something else, or the same product to upsell, create a little digital product, an ebook, a video, a community, anything like that can fit really well. Something in the resistance band example actually is they have weekly workouts that they create and post into a little community. So they actually upsell that. I think it's $10 a month or something like that to be in their community where they only emphasize resistance band workouts. And we're using that as the downsell with the premium resistance band as the upsell. So those can work really well. Now, how do you kind of frame this, right? Because you can have as many upsells and as many downsells as you want. So in One Click Upsell, which is the app we use, it's free to download, by the way. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. But this is what we use. It's the easiest. Honestly, it's not the most robust. Like if you want a very advanced funnel system, I'd recommend Rebuy. But OCU gets the job done for pretty much all of my clients. And we have brands doing, $1 million plus a month that we still use OCU on. So that's what I'd recommend. Now, here's how we pretty much structure all of these. So we have upsell one. Now, this is the most relevant upsell. This is the main cross sell, right? This is the battery for G-Tech. This is that travel size serum for the skincare company. It's the most relevant one that we think is going to get the highest take rate. Okay. Test high ticket versus low ticket stuff. Typically, I like to do higher ticket items here, but it kind of depends on the brand. Okay. Now, from here, there's two places they can go. Now, if they accept upsell one, they're going to see upsell two. Now, this is where we really go after a high ticket element. Okay. So obviously, if they've purchased with you, they took the first upsell, they are very committed. They're very passionate customers. They trust your brand. They want your products. So what we want to do is hit them with a nice high ticket element here. So for the resistance band company, for example, they also have some bars, right, that you can attach the resistance bands to. They're really, really cool, actually. But those bars are about $200. So in the first upsell, we offer more bands. If they take that upsell, then we hit them with the bar. Okay. Now with that bar, it gets a lower take rate. But it actually still converts around 8%, which is amazing. Okay. Now, if they say no to this first upsell, then what we want to do is hit them with one downsell. Okay. Don't create 14 different downsells. You're going to piss your customers off. You'll see some other videos that recommend you build this out a little bit more. This is how I do it because I always err on the side of caution. I like to treat our customers well. So I don't want to just hit them with a million different offers here. But this is where the downsell comes into play, right? So they make a purchase, they say no to the first upsell, then we're going to hit them with one more downsell. Okay. So what we can do here is offer the same thing that we offered in the upsell, but at a bigger discount. So resistance band example, right? They say no to 20% off, more resistance bands. Okay, boom, we're going to hit them with a 30% off, maybe even a 40% off discount on the downsell. Okay. Or what we can do is switch to a cheaper product with a high discount as well. So, for example, maybe in the skincare brand, we're just upselling the same product as bought here, right? They say no, boom, that's when we hit them with the travel size discount is in this downsell. Now, if you do this downsell correctly, I've seen this convert at 15+%, which is amazing. Okay. Now, when you're running this and you just see an abysmal take rate, like anything less than I'd say 2 or 3%, you need to change that product, test something else, because you're just going to piss people off. But these downsells can generate significant revenue. Okay. Now, after you have all this set up, split test. Okay. If you've watched any of my videos, you know split testing is a key part of what we do with everything. Now, we also split test all of these funnels. Now, that's why I love One Click Upsell is they make split testing extremely easy. It's a click of a button. You go in and you edit the variation and then you launch it. You let it run for a month and let it do its thing, and then pick that winning variation, launch a new split test. So usually when we acquire a new client, this is one of the first things we do is set up these post-purchase upsells. It's typically done in the first 2 weeks. So the first thing that we always split test is the product itself, right? So we want to run a total of anywhere between like 3 and 5 split tests, testing that first product, testing that the same product is bought versus a complementary product, and just testing a few different offers, because that's going to be the biggest thing. Then once we run, say, at least 3 of those, and we know the product that we're upselling is going to be the winner, that's when we want to start testing some offers. Okay. So then we'll run 3 or 5 tests. That's testing the offer. So 20% versus 40%, 20% versus $10 off, something like that. Just testing different offers to find that best one as far as take rate and profitability. Now, obviously you'll have to create some sort of algorithm for your brand to make sure that, the 40% off, even though it might get a much higher take rate, is actually profitable, more profitable for you guys. Okay. So again, usually we run, I would change this number to 2 to 5, just depending on the brand. 2 to 5 total split tests for each of these. Usually these tests take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on the size of the company. And then once these two are really dialed in, that's when we'll start testing the design. Now, to be honest, I haven't found any massive wins by testing the design. I have definitely found wins. And then over time, after we've ran like 5 of these split tests, that's when we really start to see the biggest impact. But you're going to see more of an impact testing the product and the offer. But once you really dial these in, get into the design, test different headlines, descriptions, layouts, try to make bigger changes. Like, don't just test 2 different words in your product description. Like, test a big new headline, test showing a urgency timer versus no urgency timer. Like, do some bigger things. And then, yeah, just continue this process. I'd say even like once a month, once every 2 months. You don't have to get super granular with it. It takes 5 minutes to set these up, so it's not difficult. But just keep running these for as long as your Shopify store exists, and you will find massive, massive wins. So this is how I've been able to generate basically a 10 to 30% revenue boost overnight for brands that don't have these implemented. Download OCU, get after it today. It's one of the easiest ways to increase your revenue. Now, if you are a Shopify brand doing at least $10,000 a month and you are interested in my agency coming in and helping you scale up to that $100,000 a month, $1 million a month point in extremely profitable revenue, head over to dmcorporations.com, schedule a call with me. I'd be happy to chat and see what we can do. So without further ado, thanks for your patience on this YouTube video. I know it wasn't one of my best. I will be posting every week from here on out, at least up until next Q4. So hope you guys have a great day and go implement these upsells. We'll chat soon. See ya.